It is already nighttime, and everyone at the guild is worried because Mukuda's group still hasn't returned. However, Mukuda suddenly entered the guild, and Willem anxiously asked how their hunt went. So Mukuda asked Fel to explain the situation, and Fel told everyone that they had hunted every single wyvern in the area. And all the adventurers and knights celebrated after hearing this. Mukuda was surprised with their reaction, so Willem had to explain that even if all of the adventurers in the city worked together to hunt the wyverns, half of them would still die. The adventurers were really worried about their hunt, so Mukuda decided that he wouldn't reveal that they easily hunted the wyverns and were just busy camping and eating. However, Fel revealed it himself, and Sui praised their meal like they really didn't care about their hunt. Afterwards, Mukuda stayed at Willem's office, where he explained that they had collected 13 wyvern corpses and that their bodies were intact except for their chopped heads. Then they agreed that the guild would butcher the wyverns for free and Mukuda would have all the meat, but the guild could only afford the materials for half of the wyverns. After this, Mukuda returned to the inn. He was busy with the wyvern issue, so he forgot about the offerings for the goddesses again. And the goddess of fire, Agni, is already asking for it. While Mukuda was picking the offerings and talking to Agni, the 3 other goddesses messaged him secretly, all of them asking for their preferred offerings. Agni was pissed when she found out about it, but she also asked for the offering she wanted, which is booze. Because of this situation, Mukuda could just think how they were not like goddesses at all, and he felt helpless as he listened to the goddesses argue with each other. While Mukuda was walking in the city, everyone was already talking about them. They are now famous for hunting the wyverns. Mukuda stopped by a shop. It is the bathtub shop that Lambert has recommended. The shopkeeper showed Mukuda multiple bathtubs, each with better quality than the previous one. But Mukuda only picked an ordinary-looking bathtub, so the shopkeeper thought he was just an ordinary customer. However, he was shocked when Mukuda paid for the bathtub up front, and that he even had an item box. So the shop employee bowed respectfully at the departing Mukuda. Mukuda happily left the shop as he finally obtained the bathtub that he always wanted. He also decided to leave the town right away because he's not comfortable having the citizens' attention all focused on him due to the wyverns. After arriving at the forest, Fel gave Mukuda his barrier before he left to hunt. While Mukuda built 4 stone walls and placed the bathtub in the middle. Then he asked Sui to fill it up with water before he used his fireball to heat it up. But before he entered the tub, he made sure he thoroughly washed his hair and body first. Sui also joined him in the tub, relaxing. And he's curious about the nice smell that is coming from the bath salts. And they both drink a bottle of milk after their bath. After this, Sui started to love baths as much as Mukuda, but they wish Fel could have taken a bath with them as well. Mukuda then took out the wyvern meat as he planned to prepare their meal. He has high expectations for the wyvern meat because Fel praised it. After taking out all the ingredients, he started slicing the onions and the wyvern meat. Then he added soy sauce, sugar, and sake to the water before bringing it to a boil. Once it was boiling, he added the ginger paste before the meat and onions. Once it's ready, he put some meat, onions, and soup on top of the rice before serving it. But Mukuda was surprised that Fel still hadn't returned from hunting, so he decided to buy another set of ingredients and prepare another dish. He cut all the vegetables before cutting the meat into large chunks. He seasoned the meat with salt and pepper before sautéing it until the outside turned brown. Then he added the vegetables. Once the vegetables were cooked, he added the wine, water, consomme, demi-glace sauce, and a little ketchup. Afterwards, he just simmered it more. At the same time, Sui noticed that his uncle Fel was back from hunting. However, a huge lizard appeared in front of them instead, which shocked Mukuda. But it was just a corpse carried by Fel. He explained that he wasn't satisfied after hunting the wyverns, so he also hunted this earth dragon. Mukuda was terrified after finding out that it was a dragon, but Fel only cared about its meat's delicious taste. However, Mukuda still complained that the rare high-ranking monsters are already piling up in his inventory because they are all impossible to sell. But Fel just really cares about its meat, and what troubles him is if the guild couldn't butcher it for him. At the same time, Fel noticed the nice smell from the dishes Mukuda prepared, and Mukuda explained that it was all from the wyvern meat. Fel was excited to eat after hearing this, but Mukuda didn't let him eat as he was dirty. Fel was covered in dirt after fighting with the earth dragon, and Mukuda pointed it out while calling him filthy. But Fel refuted that it's not true because he grooms himself properly. But Mukuda stored all their food and warned Fel that they wouldn't eat until he finished his bath. Fel complained when Mukuda bought items used for grooming dogs, but Mukuda didn't care. Afterwards, Mukuda started brushing Fel's fur. But Fel complained that he's not a dog while asking him to be more gentle. Then Mukuda started throwing water at Fell to wash away more dirt. But Fell's size made it difficult for Mukuda to wash him this way, so he asked Sui to make a water hose for him. With this, it was much easier to wash Fell, who was desperately covering his face. Then Mukuda started rubbing Fell with soap, and Fell liked it. However, when Mukuda wanted to wash his face, he was visibly scared, but Mukuda made fun of him, and his pride as a legendary beast was hurt, so he decided to get on with it. Then Mukuda took out some towels to dry Fell's fur, but Fell shook his body to dry himself up, which made Mukuda wet instead. This time Mukuda decided to use his fire magic with Fell's wind magic to create warm wind to dry themselves. Mukuda is now satisfied with how clean Fell is, and he even called him a handsome dog that looks more like the legendary fenrir. Fell was acting proud while also refuting that he's the legendary fenrir. Before asking for his meal, Mukuda heats up the rice and judon before he serves them to Fell. However, Fell thought that Mukuda was trying to trick him as the amount of rice is way more than the meat, so Mukuda had to explain that judon is really eaten this way. And like usual, Fell is amazed after giving it a try, and he even praised the rice that he wasn't interested in a few moments ago. Seeing his familiars eating happily, Mukuda also started eating, and he was surprised that the wyvern meat was similar to the wagyu beef. He didn't expect that the wyvern meat would be such a high-class ingredient. Then both Sui and Fell asked for their second servings. Fell was looking for the other dish Mukuda prepared, but Mukuda explained that they would eat it next time as it would taste much better the next day. While eating, Mukuda told Fell that he would be taking a bath twice a month. Fell broke into a cold sweat hearing this, as he thought it was the only time that he'd be taking a bath. But Mukuda added that they will be maintaining his cleanliness, and to help Fell make up his mind, they also asked Sui's opinion. And obviously he answered that he preferred the shiny and fluffy Uncle Fell, which even made Fell blush as he reluctantly agreed. After their meal, they came back to the guild to sell the Earth Dragon's corpse. But like Mukuda expected, the guild doesn't have the funds for it. Johan even admitted regrettably that he's not good enough to butcher the dragon, as every part of it is precious material. Although Willem is disappointed, he still informs Mukuda where he should go to get it butchered. Willem then pointed to the location of Dalan on the map, explaining that the guildmaster there is knowledgeable about dragons, so he might be able to butcher the Earth Dragon. Fell was happy as he realized that they would pass Dalan on their way to the sea. Willem was curious, so Mukuda explained that they are planning to travel to the sea as Fell wants to eat sea serpents and krakens, and Fell was announcing proudly that it will be delicious with Mukuda's cooking skills. Willem and Johan could only laugh after hearing their ridiculous plan. Then Mukuda visited all his acquaintances in the city, informing them that they were leaving, before meeting up with Willem again for the map and the introduction letter. After leaving the city, Mukuda started planning. First they will need to meet Dalan's guildmaster and get their Earth Dragon butchered. Then they will hunt the krakens and sea serpents. Then the scene changed to the group while they were having their dinner. Fell was amazed after eating the stew Mukuda prepared the previous day, and he's already looking forward to what they will be eating next. Mukuda could just smile at his two familiars, who became complete foodies. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and look forward to more full anime series recaps.